All right, Elon Musk has indeed wrapped up his Tesla AI Day, Artificial Intelligence Day. Here's the highlight, the humanoid robot. All right, Lauren, that was an actor dressed up in the robot suit. I got that. When's he going to make a real one? And what's he going to do with a real one?
Okay, what you're about to hear, I just want to remind you, it's in Tesla time. Here's Elon Musk.
Tesla is arguably the world's biggest robotics company because our cars are, like I said, semi-sentient robots on wheels. It kind of makes sense to put that onto a humanoid form. So we think we'll probably have a prototype sometime next year.
Next year, that'll be pushed back. But a prototype, maybe. So in addition to the pretty awesome dance moves, the Tesla bot is 5'8", weighs 125 pounds. It can lift 50 pounds. It's meant to perform those boring and difficult tasks. But here's the question. If you have a Tesla bot taking over, what's the point of a human worker? So Elon Musk says, yeah, there might be a valid need for universal basic income or a stipend, because people can't really work if humans are doing so many of the robots are doing so many of the human jobs. So that's his idea. Technology replaces humans as workers, therefore take some of the profit out of technology and give it to workers on a basis of a guaranteed income. You'd have to. If our technology and our artificial intelligence and everything that we're learning and putting into technology is this great, I mean, that's a person, but if that's actually a robot, and by the way, they say it's going to be a friendly robot, not meant to scare us, but it's a scary thought. Artificial intelligence is very scary when you look at all the ramifications of it. If you're not an engineer, what job would you do? Well, have you seen those pictures of, they're not real people, but on a TV screen, they look like real people. Yes, and you can make them say anything you like. Exactly. I don't know what the expression is, but that's what you can do. I know what you're talking about, yeah. I can't think of the word to use there, but me neither. That frightens me to death. I mean, I could be replaced by one of them things. Well, the future is very scary. So if some humans can't keep up with it, what happens to those humans? But this event overall was a big recruiting event also for Elon Musk, basically saying, look, if you believe in AI and you've got ideas, come on, we'll show you what we can do. And he showed you the robot. Dow's up 112 points this Friday morning. We like that.
Okay. Hello, my little ninjas. My name's Mike, and this is my YouTube page, Mox News. And welcome to your Wake and Bake News at 7 p.m. I'm your host, Moxie, and I have just a fuck ton of videos for you tonight, so many. It has taken me a minute to be able to actually catch up to be able to do this for you, or to be able to start the show. So a clip or two is giving me a hard time, but I have so many of them. If we don't get some of them done, it's not that big a deal. That being said, I found the Tesla introducing their new humanoid robot fascinating, considering that Elon Musk is saying what is he saying? He says that artificial intelligence is more dangerous than nuclear warheads, which I don't know if that's true, because you know, what you're saying is that nuclear warheads could explode. Is that what you're saying? And just like, oh, well, we're probably not going to use nuclear warheads, so this other thing is much more dangerous. I don't really understand his point. Nuclear warheads are about as dangerous as it gets. And he's clearly working on introducing humanoid type artificial intelligence, which is fine. I'm looking forward to doxies being on the shelf. That being said, it just is this conflicting thing. It's like, you know, I say one thing and then I do another. Why? Why are you doing this? If this is a danger to all humanity, what are you doing? Elon Musk is a danger to all humanity. More dangerous than nuclear warheads. Elon Musk is more dangerous than nuclear warheads, apparently. We'll see. Okay, so I have that video for you. I did play it already, but it was just kind of to get everything in place because, like I said, I was running just a little bit behind, so I wanted to start off with that. That way you go and get my tea. I have a lovely video about two little girls' lemonade stand. I don't know, I may keep it for the end of the show. It's absolutely precious, and I've been saving it. I've been saving that video, so you know, for this. I captured it a few days ago. I'm like, oh man, this thing is, this, it might even bring a tear to your eyes. So, look forward to that coming up. And I have a video about Banksy. It's a short video. Apparently he has created a couple of new paintings on the British seashore, which is lovely. And I always enjoy, I hope I have the video from Banksy. This is another one I'm having problems with, but I think we got it. And I have a video about plastic barriers that they put up like in between restaurant, booths, and, at the casino, and, at the grocery store, they got these plastic barriers up, they're supposed to be protective. Apparently, those things can actually make the area that you're shopping in or dining in or whatever more dangerous because of the airflow isn't flowing properly. So if they're wrong about that, right? Okay, we got that floating lemonade stand. Fall of the Soviet Union. Have a video about how when Russia went running out of Afghanistan with its tails between its legs, just like America is doing now, the United States is doing now. The Soviet Union collapsed right after that because they spent all this money and they just didn't have the support anymore. Obviously, the government is filled with a bunch of losers who can't beat people living in caves and mud huts, apparently. Fucking stupid Russian army. Worthless. Fucking hell. I wonder how many trillions they spent on their army. How many hundreds of trillions? Sorry, fucking Pentagon. How much more fucking worthless could you be, Pentagon? Explain that to me. Is it possible for the United States Pentagon to be any more worthless than it is right now? I doubt it. And it is Dabs for Donations Friday, so I am clearly ready for that. Follow the Soviet Union. I have a thing about protesters. Oh, and Jewish race riots, I believe in New York. Black and Jewish people, African American and Jewish people having some kind of a big issue. So there's my beautiful babies. In case you didn't see them, they're right there on the screen. There's my buddy Sam, there's my buddy Craig, and there's my beautiful Boo Bear down at the bottom of the screen. I keep trying to take that bar off, but I don't know how to do it. One of these days, I'll understand how this all works. Probably not. I'm a simple caveman YouTube streamer. I've explained this to you before, people. Tea. I love my hot tea. So, should we play another video? Should we do a bong hit? I am so ready for a bong hit. I think we should play a video and do a bong hit. How about we play a video about Israel bombing Lebanon? We should probably play that video, huh? Israel bombing Lebanon and Syria also. And I can heat up the bong while we do that. But wait, let me see what else we have here. Vaccine mandate. Vaccine mandate loopholes. You're gonna want to see that video, I know. Let's see, where were we at here? Let's see. I guess we're gonna heat up the bong and have a dab. It is Dabs for Donations Friday. If you'd like me to do a dab in your honor, then you give a little something, and I will do a dab for you, which would be my honor. There are clickable links in the text body of this video, or I'll put links in the chat just in case anybody's interested in giving a little something to Mox News. I know it's so much more complicated than having to just click a button at the bottom of the page. I really would like it if YouTube would let me do that, although Google takes 33% of the money that you donate, which is a load of bullshit, YouTube. Let's see, where were we? And I guess I'll play a video here. Oh, wait, one more. There we go. We'll play a video and see where we can go from here. Oh, I'm going to heat up the bong. I'm going to have a big fat dab. And then we'll see where we go from there. Let's see, vaccine mandate loopholes. Vaccine mandate loopholes. Let me see, billions wasted. Maybe we should start off with billions wasted in Afghanistan. Vaccine, yeah. Let's start off with billions wasted in Afghanistan. That is clip 14. Billions and billions and billions wasted in Afghanistan. I'm going to heat up the bong, so if you'd like to join me, I'll be having a big fat bong rip momentarily. Thanks so much for tuning in.
The estimates of the cost of this war over the last 20 years range from a minimum $1 trillion to a think tank at one of the universities saying $2 trillion. That's somewhere between $150 million a day and $300 million a day.
That was President Biden today at the White House. War isn't cheap, but paying $28 million for camouflage uniforms, especially when you hear those uniforms don't even match the terrain. Allison Harris joins us now in Washington with more on that and some $145 billion in what's being called wasted spending in Afghanistan. Allison?
Yes, Joe, as both Republicans and Democrats are calling for investigations into what went wrong in the U.S. transition out of Afghanistan, we actually already have some answers from an independent federal watchdog report. This report, investigators conducted 760 interviews. They reviewed thousands of documents on the U.S. efforts to rebuild Afghanistan over more than a decade. It found that poor planning created an extraordinary level of waste. And Joe, I want to give you some of the details of this report. The U.S. spent $549 million on faulty military cargo planes that had been retired 30 years earlier. Those 20 planes were ultimately sold not too long after as scrap metal at a mere fraction for that price for roughly $40,000. Also, the report says the U.S. too often funded programs that actually made the conflict worse. Those programs were infrastructure projects. They funded $723 million on American-funded infrastructure projects in the country that ultimately went to waste because those projects, according to the report, were unused. They were abandoned or they were destroyed. And there was also no budget to maintain those projects. And more than $300 million a year was spent paying for what is called in the report what's referred to as ghost salaries for ghost Afghan soldiers who exist only on paper. They aren't real. That money was instead going to Afghan leaders who were corrupt and were lying about having more soldiers in their ranks. Also, the report details a nearly $2.5 million compound that was built outside of the security perimeter at the base so that it couldn't be used. And the list goes on with this report, Joe.
Well, those are head-shaking numbers for sure. Allison Harris live for us in Washington. Thanks, Allison. Money lost, lives lost, and now a reassessment by the American people about America's longest war. According to a poll by the Associated Press and the University of Chicago, only 35% of Americans feel the war in Afghanistan was worth fighting. 62%, by contrast, now saying it was not. Matthew Griffin, former Army Ranger, served 3 tours in Afghanistan, joins us now. Matthew, I hate to ask you this, but how hard is it for you to see that?
It's exceptionally hard for us to see what's going on right now. The images of babies being handed over fences, the images of U.S. weapons being, given, to the Taliban, just the images of, a park in Mazar-e Sharif burning to the ground. This is just horrific after so much effort put in by the U.S. service member.
There are other images, though, I'm sure, that make you feel good. The images of our troops taking care of these babies who are being handed over walls, others trying to calm them. We do have an update on one of the babies who was handed over the wall was ill, and the U.S. soldier was able to take that baby to a field hospital, get the baby treatment, and return to its father. So that's a good ending to that story. Are you worried that what we're seeing now, these images, will endure despite all of the accomplishments and the things that we can point to as successes over there? These will be the images we all remember?
These will be the images of U.S. service members always stepping up to be heroes. They will always answer the call. These images will last. This is not their fault whatsoever. This is the fault of our leadership.
Did you ever talk when you were in country with your other Rangers about what you were doing, your purpose there, your goal? Did you guys ever question it?
We questioned it usually after our first deployment. And most of us, we went there after believing what we heard in the media and believing what we heard by our leadership. When we got out in the field and we saw poverty at levels you just can't possibly imagine. And we learned early that these people aren't all bad. They're actually exceptionally good, loyal, honorable humans just suffering in poverty.
Yeah.
And we questioned what we were doing.
Yeah, well, that's great perspective. You know, another veteran we had on this week, Matthew, didn't like calling this exit a loss, which I think is an important point to be made. And as we leave you and head you into the weekend, I think it probably is worth saying that it takes away none of the appreciation that all of us feel for what you and all of the troops have done over there, despite that poll, because we appreciate it. You were called and you answered. Matthew Griffin, former Army Ranger in Afghanistan and the founder of Combat Flip-Flops, based in Kabul. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
All right, people, I have the bong all heated up and ready to go. I thought that you might find it interesting about the, billions of dollars wasted in Iraq and Afghanistan, which it's not billions because they're talking about, oh, we did this, which was a waste, and that was, the whole fucking thing was a waste. They accomplished absolutely nothing. They made America, the United States, look like a fool on the world stage. They made the Taliban look like they're able to beat the world's only superpower. Zero. Every single dollar spent in Afghanistan was a complete and total waste. And that will become more and more apparent over the next couple months. Ready for a big old blast? I am. Woo! All right, so where were we? We were playing videos. We were talking about everything there is under the sun. Banksy, lemonade stands, Afghanistan's, whatever there is. Pakistan's. Oh, and of course we were talking about plastic barriers between restaurant booths and grocery store checkouts, and apparently those are making things more dangerous, according to this latest study, which I have a video I will play for you momentarily. I think I'm having trouble getting that one to come up. Let's see. So it is a call-in show. If you'd like to call, the number's right there on the screen, 805-669-6397. I'd love to talk to you about whatever's on your mind. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep playing videos because I have a lot of videos to play and a little bit of time to get them played. Got a long ways to go and a short time to get there. We're going to do what they say can't be done. I don't know what's wrong with me. Hi, Jackie Cat! But I'm glad that I'm this way, so you know. All right, so I'm gonna play another video because I can, and I love this video. It's about a protest. I'm not gonna play the protest one. No, I'm not gonna do it. Not right now. I'll play it later. Maybe if you stick around. Maybe if you're good, I'll play it for you in a minute. I'm going to play this video about Israel bombs Lebanon. Because you know, those fucking Lebanese, man, you gotta keep them in their place, and the only way to do that is with big old fucking 1,000-pound bombs. Okay? So we're on the same page here, people. This is what it's all about. This is what the world is becoming to be all about. The world is supposed to be about, you know, everything we learned in kindergarten. Sharing, making things better, creating art, finding beauty where we can, you know, growing, planting seeds. And all we see is anger and hatred and death and despair. And our people, everyone around the planet, all the human beings deserve more than that. You, I, everyone deserves more than just death and despair everywhere we turn. So one of these days, it'd be really nice if we could get some leaders that might be able to help us make that happen. Until then, we need to keep track of all the war criminals, because hopefully one of these days they'll pay a price. This is clip number 9. Number 9. Number 9. Number 9. Number 9.
And moving on to security issues. 2 rockets were fired at northern Israel from Lebanon overnight, triggering sirens in the western Galilee. The Israel Defense Forces said the army fired artillery at the source of the launch in response. Our Middle East correspondent Ariel Osaran was up on the northern border earlier today and filed this report.
This morning, 2 rockets were fired from southern Lebanon into the northern part of Israel. According to the Israeli military, the Iron Dome system managed to intercept one of the rockets as the other landed in an open area in the western Galilee, not too far from where I'm standing right now. It added that there were also no injuries and there was no damage in this incident. In response, the Israeli military fired artillery shells towards the origin of the launching. The UN peacekeeping force, UNIFIL, said that the rockets were fired from the outskirts of the village of Al-Khalila near the city of Tyre. And the Lebanese military confirmed this, adding that there was a 3rd rocket launcher found in the area with a ready-to-launch rocket that did not fire, probably due to a malfunction. Now, this is the first time rockets have been fired from southern Lebanon into Israel under the new Israeli government, and it came just hours before Prime Minister Naftali Bennett visited the area.
Lebanon is on the verge of collapse, as is any country in which Iran is based. Its citizens were taken hostage by Khamenei and Nasrallah in favor of Iranian interests. This is unfortunate, but we will not accept a leakage of the situation in Lebanon into Israel. As I said, whoever tries to harm us will pay a painful price.
Israel is concerned of the situation in Lebanon. The economic crisis there is massive. There is at least 40% unemployment. Over half of the population is living in poverty. And it's concerned that this might serve as an opening for Iran to increase its influence in the failing country.
And joining us now for more on this is Avi Melamed, founder and CEO of Inside the Middle East Intelligence Perspectives and geopolitical intelligence analyst, and he speaks to us from Jerusalem. Avi, thanks for coming on. First of all, it's not the first time these Palestinian groups from Lebanon have fired rockets into Israel, but it's still a pretty rare occurrence. What do you think triggered the shooting of those rockets overnight?
Well, Kalev, good evening. Thank you for having me. I think this is yet another attempt of the Hamas to try to monetize the best way possible, to squeeze the lemon, if I could say, I'll use this term, of the issue of Jerusalem, Al-Quds. You remember that when Hamas launched the recent war, it was under the title of defending Al-Quds. We have to remember it was just in the conjunction of the beginning of Eid al-Adha, a major Muslim feast. So that was probably some sort of like a Hamas-guided, even though Hamas, of course, did not take and will not take responsibility for that. It was a Hamas-guided attempt to kind of like try to monetize that card of like, we Hamas, we defend the issue of Jerusalem. Just to remind you, Kalev, when Hamas launched the war, the recent war, centering around allegedly the story of protecting Israel, protecting Al-Quds, Jerusalem. That was a miscalculation by Hamas. By the end of the war, we know what happened. And so I think that was kind of like an attempt of Hamas to once again try to squeeze the best way possible that lemon.
All right, so the actual group that fired the rockets, Palestinian terrorist groups linked to Hamas, but we know that the force that really controls southern Lebanon is Hezbollah, the Shiite Iranian-sponsored militia. So how do they factor into this?
Well, it's quite obvious that that shooting could not have taken place without the silent approval of the Hezbollah. As you said accurately, Kalev, Hezbollah is the real force in South Lebanon. He controls, he knows everything that goes on the ground. By the way, there is a special force of the Hezbollah, which calls Saraya al-Muqawama, the companies of the resistance, which actually operates within the Palestinian refugee camps in the south part of Lebanon. So the Hezbollah knows very well everything that's happening. Look, that was a situation where I think that was on the one hand and kind of like an attempt to remind in a way the world that, well, the Hezbollah and Hamas are the one defending the story of Jerusalem, which is of course to a large extent, I would say, an excuse. They don't have, to the best of my understanding, neither Hamas nor Hezbollah any interest in further igniting the arena. Hamas is still licking the wounds following the recent war in Gaza Strip. Hezbollah is facing the very complex situation inside Lebanon. I don't think that this is the attempt of either of those organizations to further ignite the arena.
Right, but we did hear Prime Minister Naftali Bennett say that Israel won't accept the sort of leakage of the, situation in Lebanon, which is becoming increasingly chaotic, to spill over into Israel. How much of a danger do you think is there of that happening?
Well, look, Hezbollah, Lebanon, as Prime Minister Bennett said, is indeed crumbling. It's on the edge of the abyss. We see every day in and out what's going on in Lebanon. This is a very complex situation. I want to make some very short notes about it. First, Hezbollah is, for the time being, is fine with the current situation in Lebanon. Remember, Hezbollah is vetoing, as of now, the assembling of any professional government in Lebanon that could potentially put the country, the crumbling country, back on the tracks. The reason for Hezbollah's policy is, of course, the Iranian instructions, because it has to do with the discussions that goes on right now in Vienna between the Western powers and the Iranians. But here is the big story. It's like walking on the edge, because Hezbollah, on the one hand, would like to see the Lebanese really suffering, because he couldn't care less, to the point that they will desperately look at anyone that can help them. But on the other hand, Hezbollah would like to avoid a situation of total collapse, of total anarchy, because this is a situation that nobody, including the Hezbollah, will know what the next day is going to bring with. So I would say that the Hezbollah and the Iranians are doing here some kind of sort of walking on the edge. It's a very calculated move by the Hezbollah. I don't think, from any perspective, that the Hezbollah right now has any interest, or to be more accurate, any order from the mullah regime in Tehran to further ignite the arena in Lebanon. We have to remember some other things which is very significant. Israel have a lot of tools in its arsenal, not necessarily just militarily strike, sort of speaking, to basically generate a process where the Hezbollah might find itself with a bigger challenge. Because if, for example,
we'll have to, Avi, I'm afraid we are going to have to leave it at that. I'm sure we'll have the opportunity to speak on these issues again. Avi Melamed, thank you for joining.
All right. My Boo Bear was up here a minute ago, but he didn't get down by the river. He was laying under the river, so I bet he'll come back. He's been coming in pretty much every day that we do this lately, which I can't tell you how happy that makes me. And it was really, when he's not here, it's like, not only is something missing, it's like something's wrong, you know? But now he's been here, and it makes me very happy. And I got two people I need to do big fat dabs for, Don D, and Jackie Cat. You two are the greatest. I will be doing a lovely dab in your honor momentarily. Thank you so much. It's very, 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 very nice and very generous of you. I can't thank you enough. Okay, so I just thought that we should play that clip because we don't hear about Israel, and I've been watching, I watch Israeli news every day, and this is a pretty regular thing, bombing Syria, bombing Lebanon, bombing Palestine. These people are clearly the aggressors. I mean, how can and we're so victimized. We're the most victimized people on the planet. We have to lash out on everybody around us. Why don't you understand that? Right? Clearly they're the aggressors, and I really wish that the whole world would act like it. Hello, caller.
Well, Lebanon has been killing all the kangaroos in Israel for years. There's hardly any Israeli kangaroos left. So what do they expect when those terrorist Hamas people in Lebanon shoot missiles at the Israeli kangaroos? The Israelis are going to strike back. Almost every kangaroo in Israel has been exterminated by these terrible Hamas terrorists. And thank God for this beautiful...
I better not find out that kangaroo is some kind of Holocaust slur or something, or you're not ever calling again, mister.
No, I'm talking in a purely animalistic basis. There's hardly any kangaroos in Israel because the Hamas terrorists in Lebanon have killed all the kangaroos in Israel, and it doesn't matter that Hamas is in Gaza and not Lebanon. That makes no difference. Everything Lebanon do is Hamas's fault. So that's just one thing. That's just one animal. They've killed all the alligators in Israel too. You don't see any alligators in Israel.
Not anymore.
That's right. Because the Hamas terrorists in Lebanon shooting their rockets at all the endangered species in the brave country of Israel. And if it's on I-24 News, it's the truth. And especially if that guy Avi is talking, it's 100% true.
Anybody named Avi is always going to be 100% true.
Yeah, that's like Ave Maria, man. It's like, don't diss Blessed Mother Mary. Ave Maria. That's where the word Avi comes from. He's obviously a Catholic, and he's just punching in on the Israeli news show, which is the greatest show on earth.
Well, I don't know about that, but
on earth.
I don't know about that. It might be the greatest news on earth, but it's not the greatest show on earth.
Well,
hey,
first of all, Hamas is not in Lebanon. But what is in Lebanon is 1.5 million Syrian refugees and almost 300,000 Palestinian refugees, and they're all in. Most of them are in 12 different refugee camps, one of which is Shantia, which was one of the camps that had this horrible massacre. Thousands of people were kettled and corralled in this, and the entire camp was wiped out, like shooting fish in a barrel. I can't give you the year of that. What was it was 2004, something like that. Was the massacre in both Shabra, which is in Syria, and Shantira, which is in Lebanon. And there is no Hamas in Lebanon. They're lucky they can get a word back and forth, And if it wouldn't surprise me if Israel just said, "Hey, Avi and Shlomo, go over to Lebanon and shoot a couple rockets at us so we can bomb some sites and pretend that we're under attack." And Iron Dome works. So that's what it's all about. The people are starving in Lebanon. You've got refugees from all over. the last thing they're going to do is shoot a bunch of rockets off into Israel and kill all the kangaroos and the alligators. Nobody cares about kangaroos and alligators in Israel. And it's just everything on I-24 is how.
Nobody cares about kangaroos and alligators here either, so you know.
I know. It's a worldwide situation, and we really should get the United Nations involved in the shortage of kangaroos and alligators the world over.
Hey, alligators and kangaroo lives matter.
Not if you're in Hamas. Hamas doesn't care about kangaroos like they should, and that's why they're terrorists.
Who cares what anybody thinks? Doesn't matter. All that matters is the kangaroos and the alligators and the rest of the beautiful creatures that occupy this planet. How hard is this for you to figure out, people?
Yeah, it's just another bullshit story, man.
The alligators and the kangaroos are not a bullshit story. This is important shit, people.
The guy talking, that Aussie guy, he goes, I'm a specialist. I'm an intelligence specialist.
Yeah.
You work for fucking Mossad, okay? And
doesn't everybody on that channel? I'm pretty sure everybody on that channel has been cleared by Mossad.
Everybody on I-24 works for Mossad in one way or another.
Yeah.
So, no, it's just more propaganda. That's what Hasbro means, propaganda, to benefit the state of Israel. And they try to keep all of their neighbors disenfranchised, without agency, powerless, and in chaos and turmoil, whether it is because of bombs or because of collapsing economy. And that's where Lebanon is right now, is a total collapsing economy. Collapsed economy. It's not even collapsing. It's collapsed. And
yeah, the Lebanese are really messed up. The Lebanese people are just the nicest people you're ever going to meet, you know? And they love life. And they're just being fucked over for no reason. Again, this is this thing where it'd be so easy to go in there with a few $1 billion, $100 billion, and go, here, let us help you. No loan. We just want to help. Tell us what you need. Why isn't the whole world like that anywhere there's need? I don't get it. We can make this place great, and nobody really gives a fuck.
Well, I think Macron gave, the president of France who's a Rothschild agent, gave Lebanon, I think, $300 million, something like that, but he wanted to keep close tabs on the money spent. He wasn't happy with the money spent. It's a year later after the port blew up, and they're still in chaos, and it's in Israel's best interest to keep all of their neighbors in chaos, whether it be intrigue, within the government, or actual economic sanctions like what's going on in Lebanon. If Israel was actually a good neighbor to Lebanon, they would have offered some aid, but they don't. Jordan is very stable. Egypt is an ally, and Syria is the enemy. So, I don't know about Iraq. Iraq doesn't border Israel. It's over to the northeast of Israel.
Yeah.
And so it's in Israel's interest to keep their neighbors unstable. Somehow Jordan is strong enough to not be so affected. They're a pretty strong country. Egypt is in the hand of the United States, and they have a formal contract with Israel. And Lebanon, the only reason Lebanon is screwed is because they're a direct neighbor of Israel. If the border was, say, 500 miles away, they would be a prospering Middle East country.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, so anybody, and I did hear the guy, Avi, talk about, the last war Hamas committed. No. You went in and you invaded Al-Quds, out in the Dome of the Rock, on a Muslim holiday, and you invaded it, and you threw grenades in there, and on the beginning of Ramadan, I think.
The end of Ramadan.
Was it the end? Is that what you said?
I'm pretty sure it was the end of Ramadan, the last couple days.
And you stirred up the population like an anthill, like a guy with a stick stirring up. What did you expect? And then you blame it. This is called the Darvo tactic. Deny, accuse, reverse victim, offender. Darvo. You blame it on the victims. You go blow up their mosque, and then you blame it on them, saying, hey, don't blow up my mosque. Don't blow up my mosque, bro. So what do you expect? So it's this. Luckily, I didn't hear about any Lebanese casualties. Did you?
I haven't heard about any casualties. I don't know that the I-24 is the best source to try and find out about casualties. But I don't know that. I haven't heard of any. It sounded like maybe there was some kind of issue in Syria over this week of a couple of casualties from like airstrike type of things. Israel's bombing the shit out of fucking Syria, or shelling them. They're shelling Lebanon. They're bombing Syria. You know, who knows what the fuck else they're doing.
And a lot of the ISIS fighters for the last 7 years, when they get wounded, they cross the Israeli border and they get treated in Israeli hospitals. So what's up with that, Israel? How come you're supporting ISIS?
Well, and that's the thing. Who does this terrorism benefit, right? Israel seems to want a green light to go and bomb anybody they want. So if they have some kind of terrorism issue, why would every fucking country around them knows they're looking for a reason to bomb them? Why would they give it to them? They wouldn't. That's stupid. So unless they were ready to go to full-on war, they wouldn't do that shit. So
I forget which Prime Minister of Israel. It wasn't Sharon, but Moshe Dayan. I forget which one. But a reporter asked him one time, how does it feel to be the father of Middle Eastern terrorism? This is the Prime Minister of Israel. And the guy said, I'm the father of world terrorism. He didn't just include it with the Middle East. He said, I'm the father of world terrorism. And this was back in the 60s, late 60s, early 70s. So, but, you know, for me to find that quote and post it would be anti-Semitic, you know. But I've already seen the quote like 20 times. I just can't remember the guy's name. So, unfortunately, Israel doesn't like its neighbors unless they're weak, poor, bleeding.
Well, you know, Israel has a master plan that we don't really privy to, but it seems like, you know, they're not, being a good neighbor is not part of that plan, certainly.
Well, we are privy to it. It's called Eretz Israel, Greater Israel.
Yeah.
And it's been documented for decades, Greater Israel. They even have a map. So, I mean, people can tell I'm not really on the side of Israel. I'm always on the side of the underdog, the oppressed party, whoever it is. Oh, by the way, the Taliban offered to take in refugees from Australia because the Australians are so oppressed by their government now due to the COVID-19 restrictions. The Taliban offered to take in refugees from Australia. And there's a lot of Muslims in Australia. So this is real. I saw it today, and I doubt if very few people are going to go from Australia to Afghanistan. But, that's just a little detail, you know. The Afghanistan thing will go on for another week, and then it'll kind of die down until they shoot a girl in the head or something like that. But, and you know they, I'm all in favor of people making their own lemonade stands and having a good time.
Oh, dude, you gotta see that story. It's really fucking good, man.
So did the cops come down and beat the two little girls?
No, but I bet they know about that particular lemonade stand and are eyeballing it real fucking close. I would guarantee that.
Well, I'd like to see it.
All right, well, I'll play that clip next. I got to heat up the bong for a couple people anyways.
It sounds like there's some kind of secret involved in that, some kind of trick. Is there a trick? They put marijuana in their lemonade or what?
No, they're just these unique little creatures that make Seattle what it is, man. They're amazing. And I really, this is like if you had to try and find some little something to try and tell people who Seattle is, this is one of those things. So.
Were they raising money for the poor?
They were giving money to like animal shelter, I think.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So save the alligators and save the Israeli kangaroos. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I'll wait for the video, man.
Okay.
Take your hit.
Have a good weekend.
Take care. Bye.
And I owe Don D and our lovely Jackie Cat a dab. Don D came in first. So, there's my boober. Hey, Buddha, you're my beautiful baby. You are. I love my beautiful baby. I do. Okay, so I'm going to have a fat dab for Don D. While I played this clip I really want to play this clip about the lemonade stand. So, you know what? There's only like a dozen people in the room, so this is perfect because you're all the best people that are hanging around. So you get the best clip, right? And I do love this clip, and I hope that you like it as much as I do. I'm thinking very much about posting it again on the main page. That being said, little girl's lemonade stand in Seattle, and the reason that I clipped this out was, again, to me, this is just like what makes Seattle this amazing, wonder-filled place. Is wherever you go, there's these people that are unique. And I really like that about Seattle. And I hope that you hear what I'm saying when you watch this clip. I'm going to get a fat dab ready for Don D. If anybody wants to take a puff with me in honor of Don D's generous donation on Dabs for Donations Friday, I'd love to have you join me. Don D, I hope you like this clip. I'll be right back with a fat dab for you.
Two local girls running a business on the water. They run a floating lemonade stand on Lake Union. Evenings Kim Holcomb paddled out with them to learn more about how it all works.
Summertime on Lake Union, the shimmering water.
Come get your lemonade.
The leisurely cruising.
Come get your lemonade.
And the ice-cold refreshments.
Lemon down! I repeat, lemon down!
Go ahead, do a double take. Everyone else does.
Would you guys like a lemonade?
How do you take it?
My name is Kate and I'm 11 years old. My name is Quinn and I'm 8 years old. This is our floating lemonade stand.
Like lots of kids their ages, the sisters wanted to serve their neighborhood. Only problem? This is their neighborhood.
Well, we moved to a boathouse, so we can't really have a lemonade stand because, there's no really where to do it, so we decided to do a floating lemonade stand.
With the help of their dad, the girls painted an old playhouse, secured it to floats, and launched their dream.
First, we usually make our simple syrup, and then we have to cut the lemons.
Between the fresh squeezed flavor and the novelty, the stand is a magnet for customers. It starts before they even hit open water.
Well, thank you so much, guys.
You're welcome.
Everything you do.
One guy, he was on the other side of the lake, and then he saw us. He started paddling over really fast with the biggest smile we have ever seen. Yeah, I was just saying, he had the biggest smile I've ever seen in my entire life.
Just like a regular lemonade stand, the girls operate independently, but they're never truly alone.
That way.
Their dad drives the float remotely. It's battery powered and Bluetooth enabled.
Oh, it is just so much fun. I mean, just the smiles you get to see and just the reaction.
That's the coolest thing I've ever seen. Absolutely coolest thing I've ever seen.
But the best part may be where the profits go.
Dad gave us a loan to start our business, so we had to give other people a loan to start their businesses.
The girls pay it forward by making microloans to women in developing countries. They also donate a third of their sales to their favorite nonprofit.
Rainier Animal Fund gives veterinary care to animals who owners can't always afford the money for. We liked animals and we wanted to support the homeless.
Service, in every sense of the word. Because when life gave Kate and Quinn lemons, they made a choice to share.
Come get your lemonade.
Thanks, ladies.
Thank you. This is the Thank you. Bye. Aren't they awesome? Absolutely love that. Time now for a check of the weather.
All right. So I don't know. Maybe that clip's just too dang sappy, or, you know, whatever. You know, some kind of like, oh look, I really like that clip. And again, it's because, you know, these people are amazing and they're doing something really cool and fun and outdoorsy, and it's so nice to see people not huddling in fear with their mask on, you know, worried about somebody breathing on them when they could die. You know what I'm saying? These people are like touching things, and, you know, nobody's wearing masks or gloves. Maybe the girls were. I don't think the girls were wearing gloves, were they? But I thought that was a really good clip. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I think I should post it on the main page. See if anybody else likes it. This one's for Don D. So nice. All right, so again, I love that clip. I thought those girls were adorable. I thought that it's so nice to see people outside, not all quivering in fear with their mask on, checking. You know, it's not like they were checking to make sure those people were vaccinated before they fucking gave them their lemonade. I'm going to call the Department of Health right now. What is going on in this crazy world we live in, people? All I know is there's my Boo Bear. And it's so nice to see him down by the river, because that's where a Boo Bear should be. And I have more clips for you. As if that was not enough. Am I the only one who thought that's a great clip? I thought that's a great clip. Come on. What's the deal, people? Can you hear the words coming out of my mouth? Speak of the English. The telephone number is right there. I don't know. Maybe you guys aren't watching. Maybe I'm just talking to... I don't know. I'm just wondering if you can see the if you can hear the clips, or if you just turn on the page and then, I don't know, watch TV or something. Because it's cool if you do. I don't mind. That would be a reason at least that we're not getting phone callers. Maybe people have something better to do on a Friday night. I really hope that you do. Because I want you to be enjoying your existence on a very high level. And I talk about that a lot. And I hope that that you're finding a way to do that. Because what's the point if you're not, right? If you're not finding something to enjoy on this sensual Disneyland roller coaster ride, you're really missing out. And, you know, I call it sensual Disneyland. I call this planet sensual Disneyland. That's right, people. And it's because it's this, and it's, I call it a roller coaster ride, right? At sensual Disneyland, because like our bodies are like a roller coaster car, right? And we strap ourselves into our roller coaster car, and then we go shooting into sensual Disneyland, right? And it's this constant bombardment of sights and sounds and taste and smells and textures, and we're just going up and down and round and round and woo, 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 woo. And who knows what's up around the next corner? 75,000 miles an hour! Woo! Sensual Disneyland, people. Get with the program. I still owe Jackie Cat a dab. What are you people doing? We have to get this going or we'll never get it done. Oh, Jewish race riots. Should we go there next? I don't know. How about, you know, I want to see if this video about the plastic barriers in restaurants and grocery stores and such. The video I loaded says, I don't know if it's going to come up or not. I'm having a couple issues with the video numbers 15 and 16. I had a video about Banksy. I can go and reload it on a different clip that we've already played. Just right now, it's difficult to. Right now, I don't have the ability to play the Banksy clip. I have to go and upload it to this computer, which I can do, but I have to play a clip while I do that. And then I don't know if this clip is going to play or not either. This is the one about the plastic barriers not making us safer. If anything, according to this study, making us less safe, quite possibly. So I thought you should know. And I'm going to play that. I'm going to see if we can play that one now. And I'm going to heat up the bong for Jackie Cat and get all caught up here on this Dabs for Donations. Wait a minute. Are we going to get all caught up? Or does somebody else give a donation? Some other generous human being? No. Just Jackie Cat and Don D. You guys are the greatest. Like I said before, Jackie Cat and Don D, thank you very much. You are the greatest. So I'm going to play this video while I heat up the bong. Hopefully I'll play this one about plastic barriers. If not, we'll play something else. Clip number 15. Let's see what we get here.
This happy little dog with a big smile is Chucky. Chucky is a
That is not the one I'm looking for. So there's some kind of weird, I have like the wrong format linked to that, and then I have to change the format. So what I can do is I can go and rename that to like whatever clip we've already played, because we played a couple clips already. So I can rename it to those clips, and then I can upload it to this computer, and then we can play it for you in a minute. Because I thought the plastic barriers one was probably something you would like to see. Now, that being said, I have a video about local protests that are talking about vaccine mandates. That if you don't get your vaccine, you're going to get fired. And I have nurses talking. I have firefighters talking, or a firefighter, a nurse, And the thing is that we've talked about this. These are the pillars of the community and the front lines of defense, the first responders, right? So these are the people, the firefighters, you know, the ambulance drivers, the nurses. These are the people that first deal with the sick people. So you would think they would want to be protected, you know, as good as possible. Right? And we were talking last week and the week before about police officers that are not wanting to get vaccinated. Again, the first responders, the people who come in first contact with, you know, not necessarily the most healthy people in the world. So this calls something into question, especially with the nurses. The nurses should they should have insight into this. And they also talk about the people in the nursing homes. The people in nursing homes not wanting to do it. They're having a problem getting the workers in nursing homes to do it. And this, again, leads me to believe these people are on the front lines. They're the first responders. They see exactly what's happening. And they're like, no, thank you. Not all of them, but, you know, clearly a percentage of them that's being a problem, because that's why they're being ordered to do it now. So I have a video here about that, and then I have another video about mandates, vaccine mandate loopholes. So I think both of them are important for you to see. I want to play this other one first because I really like what's said. So I'll be right back, and we can talk about this. Okay, and we'll do a dab for Jackie Cat. Thanks so much for tuning in. I guess clip 2 isn't working yet either. I'm going to go try and replace clip 2 and see if we can make it work. And clip 16, I don't know what's happening here, people. All these buttons and mouse clicking, it's just too much for a simple caveman YouTube streamer like me. Let's see, we did the floating lemonade stand. I don't know, this is not going well. I'm going to play a video about, we did the lesbian, Tesla robot, floating lemonade. Vaccine. Oh, vaccine mandate loopholes. Let's see if that one works. That's clip number 12. I'll be right back with a fat dab for Jackie Cat. Thanks so much for tuning in and putting up with me.
But first of all, we are on top of breaking news as educators in this state deal with the decision, get fully vaccinated by this fall or lose their jobs. But that might not be the whole story. Thank you for joining us. I'm Matt Lorch.
And I'm Jamie Tompkins. Q13 broke the news first this morning that the governor's mandate may not have much teeth if teachers are paying attention to the superintendent of public instruction.
And that's not all our state's top educator is saying at this time. Q13 News reporter Frankie Thompson joins us live in Renton to explain. Frankie?
Matt, the state superintendent says if too many employees refuse to get the vaccine, he can't guarantee schools won't shut down due to staff shortage. But he also says teachers and staff who claim an exemption won't lose their jobs. One teacher tells me that's exactly what she plans to do. Thousands of teachers and school employees across Washington are outraged about the governor's COVID-19 vaccine requirement. Heidi Hartnell, a kindergarten teacher in Chelan County, is one of them.
There is the idea of my body, my choice. And now I'm not able to make this decision for myself.
Hartnell says she decided not to get the vaccine and worries it could cost losing her job.
I'm the primary income for my family, and so that does put us in a really difficult place. But we have firm convictions and beliefs that this is not the right thing to do, to take this vaccine for our family. And so we are willing to handle the fallout of that.
The governor's vaccine mandate does include medical and religious exemptions. State Superintendent Chris Rakedale says he anticipates people will use them.
There are no forces out there that are going to force people to go document the church they belong to or get a signature from a member of the clergy or their synagogue or their mosque. There's no role for us in that. We will listen to employees who say, I have a deeply held conviction about this or practice, and I don't take shots, or I'm not taking the shot. And I'm going to honor that. If I get that scope and I believe I have it, we will honor that.
But now the question is, what if several school employees claim a religious exemption? Does this make the vaccine mandate seem hollow? Rakedale says he's working with the Attorney General on the rule.
The language that is used by attorneys in this says a deeply held religious conviction or practice. So it's called a religious exemption, but it has this ability for folks to sort of value this decision, not necessarily based on a religious affiliation, not belonging to a particular church. That's why we're working the language out with the Attorney General's office. Some people say, well, that's just a philosophical exemption. And I think in many ways, that's that fine line that exists, but it's been described as a religious exemption under the governor's proclamation. It has the ability for people to say, I just don't do vaccines, and we're going to honor that.
It's a claim Hartnell says she hopes will save her job.
I am going to pursue the religious exemption route because I do have sincerely held religious beliefs that this is not what I need to be doing.
Rakedale says 30 to 40% of public school employees are unvaccinated. The Washington Education Association president says he fully supports this vaccine mandate and is urging union members to follow it. Reporting live in King County, Frankie Thompson, Q13 News.
Frankie, thank you. We want to show you more of Q13 political correspondent Bernie Cruz's interview with Chris Rakedale coming up in the next half hour. You definitely don't want to miss that.
We are seeing more protests over the governor's mask mandate. People in the Tri-Cities rallied outside the Kennewick School District headquarters yesterday. The planned rally was supposed to be about 40 people, but it quickly ballooned to several hundred people. And the Seattle Times is now reporting that Washington State head football coach Nick Rolovich says he will plan to follow Governor Inslee's vaccine requirement. Rolovich had announced last month that he would not get the vaccine. He did not say why, but said at that time it was for personal reasons.
All right, so that video was about loopholes in the mandating of state and city employees, right? So it's interesting to me that they say, oh, here's the way you get out of it and still be, you know, within the law. And then they say, oh, this coach who says he's been refusing to take the vaccine now says that he will abide by the mandate, which they just said there's loopholes to. So in other words, he's going to go right along with all the other people. That's what it sounded like to me, because they didn't say, oh, he said he's going to take the vaccine now. That's not what I heard. So it's very interesting the way they play this stuff. And it's so strange. I hear just these little things that they say, and it's like, that's all, you know, tells everything. So, so I owe Jackie Cat a big fat dab, which I have a big fat dab ready for Jackie Cat. Because she generously made another donation after her last week's donation. Actually, was this week, Jackie Cat? You are so nice. You are so nice. Thank you so much. This one's for you. man. That tasted amazing. Like so sweet. I was like, oh. Thank you so much, Jackie Cat. All right, so let's see. I thought that video was, again, I thought it was a really good video. I thought, and the one that I was wanting to play, let's see if that one queued up. I tried to queue it up. I went and re-uploaded it. Let's see if it's there now. I don't know. I can probably try and put it up some other way again. And then I have the other one to do too. The Banksy one. I really wanted to show the Banksy one. I really wanted to show you the one with the plastic barriers. I don't know what's happening, people. I can't even get clip 2 to play. I can always get clip 2 to play. We'll figure it out. Thank you very much, Dawn D and Jackie Cat. You're so nice. Take a minute of your time and give something back. Some of your precious resources to Mox News. I can't say how much that means to me. How nice that is of you. Thank you so much. Let's see. So, and nobody said they liked the lemonade stand video. I really would like to know that people like the lemonade stand video. No one said anything. Why is it always got to be about death and despair? Huh? Why? Why? Nobody wants to talk about lemonade stand unless it's political. There's a lemonade stand and some city government's talking, harassing them. Then, oh man, everybody sees this, but have this lovely video about these unique individuals and their floating lemonade stands, and nobody says a damn thing. What, you see this video 10 times already? I don't know. Maybe you did. I thought it was pretty good. Let's see. I know. I can play this video about the fall. Let's see. Wait a minute. Hold on. Canada. No, not Canada. Tesla robots. No. Floating lemonade stand. I don't know, people. I can play another video. Is that what you'd like? I really, this is about, people calling in, but if you don't want to call in, you don't want to call in. So, and I don't blame you. It's not like your responsibility to make sure the show is worth a damn. That's all on me. And I do my best, people. Sorry if that's not good enough. My Boo Bear helps out. We have topical clips when they work. Fat dabs for nice people and myself. And just trying to share. So, and I love sharing. And if you like, I would really, I could sit here and play that lemonade stand clip over and over all night long until I get a response. Is that what I have to do? Because I'll do it. Are you ready for that? You want me to play that lemonade stand clip again? Huh? Is that what you want? Don't make me do it. Because I love that clip. And I'll play it again. I will. I'm gonna do it. Don't make me come back there. Ooh, mandate loopholes. Okay, see, so I can play this video about race riots, Jewish race riots. Would you like to see that video? It'll give me a chance to move some stuff around so that we can see the protest and another thing or two. So, although I don't want to take these other videos off. Okay, I got it. I'm going to go move some stuff around. I'll be right back. Here's a video about race riots I think it was on this date or something. I think it was in New York or something. I don't know. Check it out.
All right, we are moving to a story in Brooklyn, New York. On August 19th of 1991, black and Jewish residents of the Crown Heights neighborhood in Brooklyn clashed after two black children were accidentally struck by a car following a motorcade for a Jewish leader. Now, just hours after that incident, black youth attacked several Jewish people in response and killed a 29-year-old rabbinical student. It was these tragedies that led to 3 days of riots, and 30 years later, the impact can still be felt on the ground from this. On Wednesday night, in fact, the local community held a memorial to mark the tragic anniversary, and our senior U.S. correspondent Mike Wagenheim filed this report from Crown Heights. Take a look.
30 years ago this week, this neighborhood in Crown Heights in Brooklyn, New York, was torn asunder. Death and destruction, 3 days worth, known as the Crown Heights riots. It's been billed as one of the most anti-Semitic incidents in American history. It started when a member of the motorcade of the Chabad Rebbe veered off the road and ran over two children of Guyanese immigrants. One was seriously injured, the other killed. That led to attacks on Jews by members of the black neighborhood here in Crown Heights. One of those Jews, a student from Australia, Yankel Rosenbaum, was stabbed and beaten to death. Another member of the Jewish neighborhood here would later commit suicide due to all the chaos over those 3 days. It led to major changes in policing. It even led to the mayoral race being decided in favor of Rudy Giuliani. The incumbent David Dinkins, heavily criticized for his handling of the matters over those 3 days worth of riots. We talked to residents here in the neighborhood. One said, well, a lot has changed, but a lot has stayed the same too.
There are anti-Semitic incidents of violence that take place, which are of immense concern over the last few years. But we're not in the same environment that we were back then. Today, the community is made up, or the leadership of the community of the Jewish and black communal leaders, they see each other as partners in building a community together that's prosperous for everybody, and where everyone could live with prosperity and raise their families in peace. And that's something that didn't exist in 1991.
The police were certainly criticized for their handling of the riots. In fact, it took the guardian angels to come in here to the neighborhood to quell the violence. Their leader, Curtis Sliwa, was a figure back then and remains one. He's been here as well to clamp down on anti-Semitic violence in Crown Heights over the last couple of years. We spoke with him as well.
But we stayed here 30 days, 30 nights, escorting Jews to and from 770 Eastern Parkway and making sure they were out of harm's way. But Jews and Gentiles were missing in action. So when they tell you I was there, no, you weren't, because I was here, and I know it was here, and I know most of you were not.
A memorial was held on Wednesday night by the community for Yankel Rosenbaum. His killer escaped justice for many years, but his brother Norman, who recently passed away, led the fight to bring that killer to justice. He's gone now, but members of the community say they now take up the mantle.
Everyone here believes in racial harmony. Everyone here supports bringing our community together in common cause. But it is equally important not to distort history or perpetuate a false narrative. As Yankel lay bleeding, he identified his killer, and he said, "Why did you do this to me?" We all know the answer. Yankel was killed for being a Jew. He committed the crime of dressing like a Jew, of looking like a Jew. We will never forget, we must never forget, why Yankel Rosenbaum was murdered here 30 years ago.
Reporting from Crown Heights, Mike Wagenheim, I-24 News.
All right, I think I got him. It'll take just a second for it to finish moving over, but I think I got him. And I think I can find a spot for the Banksy one now too, if you want to see it. I don't know. I am just I'm just a girl in the world. That's all that you'll let me be. Right? I don't know anymore. I'm just here waiting for a phone call. I'll play another video. Let's check the videos. Let's see. Almost ready. I'll check it. See, I have the protest. I have the plastic barriers. I'm going to play the plastic barrier ones momentarily. I want to make sure it finishes, and we'll see if we got it to work this time, which would be good. I like that one. How long is that one? That one will give me just enough time. That one doesn't give me enough time. You give me enough time to warm up the bong. If anybody wants me to do a bong hit in their honor, or a fat dab in their honor, we can do that. It's almost ready. I'll play the video momentarily. And I still have the lemonade stand video queued up. So you know, I can play that at any time. Don't make me do it. I would love to do it. Anybody say anything about lemonade stand? Yes. You didn't see the lemonade stand video? I'm going to play the lemonade stand video right now. Okay? Because I love the lemonade stand video. And apparently some people didn't see it. I'm going to play it now because I didn't mess with that video. So here you go. I'm going to go fix the Banksy video too, so we can play that one. I'll be right back.
Two local girls running a business on the water. They run a floating lemonade stand on Lake Union. Evenings Kim Holcomb paddled out with them to learn more about how it all works.
Summertime on Lake Union, the shimmering water,
Come get your lemonade.
the leisurely cruising,
Come get your lemonade.
and the ice-cold refreshments.
Lemon down. I repeat, lemon down.
Go ahead, do a double take. Everyone else does.
Would you guys like a lemonade?
How do you take it?
My name is Kate and I'm 11 years old. My name is Quinn and I'm 8 years old. This is our floating lemonade stand.
Like lots of kids their ages, the sisters wanted to serve their neighborhood. Only problem? This is their neighborhood.
Well, we moved to a boathouse, so we can't really have a lemonade stand because, there's no really where to do it, so we decided to do a floating lemonade stand.
With the help of their dad, the girls painted an old playhouse, secured it to floats, and launched their dream.
First, we usually make our simple syrup, and then we had to cut the lemons.
Between the fresh squeezed flavor and the novelty, the stand is a magnet for customers. It starts before they even hit open water.
Well, thank you so much, guys.
You're welcome.
Everything you do.
One guy, he was on the other side of the lake, and then he saw us. He started paddling over really fast with the biggest smile we've ever seen. Yeah, I would just say, he had the biggest smile I've ever seen in my entire life.
Just like a regular lemonade stand, the girls operate independently, but they're never truly alone.
That way.
Their dad drives the float remotely. It's battery powered and Bluetooth enabled.
Oh, it is just so much fun. I mean, just the smiles you get to see and just the reaction.
That's the coolest thing I've ever seen. Absolutely coolest thing I've ever seen.
But the best part may be where the profits go.
Dad gave us a loan to start our business, so we had to give other people a loan to start their businesses.
The girls pay it forward by making microloans to women in developing countries. They also donate a third of their sales to their favorite nonprofit.
Rainier Animal Funds gives veterinary care to animals who owners can't always afford the money for. We liked animals and we wanted to support the homeless.
Service, in every sense of the word. Because when life gave Kate and Quinn lemons, they made a choice to share.
Come get your lemonade.
Thanks, ladies.
Thank you.
This is the
Thank you. Bye.
Aren't they awesome? Absolutely love that. Time now for a check of the weather.
There's my boogie bear. Hey, buddy. You're my beautiful baby. You doing that Elvis thing where he turns his lip up? You're looking good, bud. You are looking good, buddy. I know. I know. I know. Hey, hey, hey. Hey. Stop. Bubba. Bubba. Stop. You're my beautiful baby. Alright, so let's see. I don't know. I don't hear anybody saying, oh yeah, okay, there you go. Really sweet. I thought it was freaking awesome. It's just, again, what I really like beyond it being super sweet and all the outdoor stuff is there's people and they're interacting. And they're not looking like, don't breathe on me, don't breathe on me, don't breathe on me. You know, they're like, here you go. And the other person like, oh, you know, exchanging back and forth and no masks. I thought that was really awesome. I was really glad. I mean, like all the news clips now, when you see people, they're outside, they have masks on. You know, I have another one of a protest about the mandates coming up here. Because I got that one to work. I think I got the Banksy one to work, which I love Banksy. I love artists. I love artists. When I first moved to, hey, what are you doing over there? What are you doing? You gonna get a drink of water? When I first moved to Seattle, I got really entrenched in the art community, and I met all kinds of fascinating people, and they really helped to inspire me and what it is that I did in Seattle and beyond. It to infinity and beyond, baby. You're my beautiful baby, Boo Bear. You're my beautiful baby. We'll get a treat in a minute. I just have like another 20 videos to play. And then we'll go get a treat, okay? Because you're my beautiful baby. Get some chicken. You like chicken, huh? Barbecue chicken? Have some barbecue chicken for you. Because you love barbecue chicken. Who doesn't love barbecue chicken, right? Where were we, people? Oh, you want to see the Banksy video? Which number is the Banksy video? The Banksy video is number, let me see, number 14. You want to see the Banksy video? I'm going to play the Banksy video. And then we'll see what else we can do. Speaking of artistes.
People have been flocking to seaside resorts on England's east coast after the graffiti artist Banksy said he was behind a series of holiday-themed works. One of them has become such hot property that the new owner has had to move it to a secret location. Jenny Kirk has more.
Is it or isn't it? The question on everyone's lips for the last week has now been answered.
I absolutely love it. I think it's wonderful that it's come this way to Lowestoft.
I think it's the best thing that's happened to this town for years, to be honest.
For some, this is vandalism. To others, it's art. And instead of removing it, the local council says they're beyond excited, that it's a real boost for Great Yarmouth and Lowestoft.
Everybody that's seen these pieces has smiled. Everybody has had pleasure from what he's put out there. And that's a wonderful thing to be able to do. Hundreds of thousands of people can go and see the artwork and it'll make them smile.
This is how the elusive artist, whose work sells for millions, ended the speculation by posting online his spraycation. But there's less good news for King's Lynn. Banksy's reimagining of a prominent statue with an ice cream cone has already been removed. At Merivale Model Village, they've had substantial offers for their Banksy, but they're not selling.
The public, unfortunately, weren't respecting it. They were trying to climb over, get up close with it, and were fearful that it was going to get damaged. So we had to move it off-site, and with the news last night, the insurance company have insisted we put it in a secure facility.
How now to protect and capitalise on his work, a nice problem to have. Special to know that Banksy actually was here. Jenny Kirk, BBC News.
Just time to remind you our main...
I like that video too. I am always excited to see new work from Banksy. He reminds me of some of the greats. It's weird, huh? So I'm sure that he's inspired by numerous greats. So let's see, what should we do next? Play another video? Let me see. Make sure the do not disturb is not on. Okay, so the number's right there on the screen. If you'd like to call, 805-669-6397. 805-669-6397. 805 Mox News. Well, I have a video about a floating lemonade stand. Have you heard of that one? Okay, I got the video about the plastic barriers that you see in the grocery stores and you see at restaurants and other spaces now. I have the video about that, in which they say it's a study that says that those barriers may be harmful or less, they may not be nearly as protective as people are being led to believe. So I thought you should see that. I have that one, and let's see, I have one about a floating lemonade stand. Oh, Canada protesters. This one comes from a different angle, and I don't know if this is some kind of a, let's make the protesters look bad or something. But I thought that you guys might, I don't mean you all, you beautiful people, wonderful people, the good people of this great nation might like to see this video. So, and I have one about the fall of the Soviet Union, which happened right after they left Afghanistan, and Russia, the Soviet Union, completely collapsed. And I thought that was probably very timely, and that you might want to see that also. So where should we begin? Let me check here. I think we should probably do the fall of the Soviet Union. So I will bring that one up for you right now. It's clip number 8, and then we just have 1 or 2 left. So if you want to call, now's the time to do it.
30 years ago, a coup was launched in the then Soviet Union by hardline communist leaders to take power away from Soviet President Mikhail Gorbachev, whose reform program was slowly opening Russia up. It failed, largely due to massive civil resistance in the capital, Moscow. Stephen Rosenberg reflects on the anniversary.
It was the day the world held its breath. There'd been a coup in a nuclear superpower. Tanks rolled into Moscow, right up to Red Square. Communist hardliners had seized power in the Soviet Union, but the people weren't having any of it. Defiance on the streets. And outside Parliament, from Russia's President Boris Yeltsin. The coup collapsed. 4 months later, so did the country. The Soviet Union was consigned to history.
People were bringing...
Dmitry Barabanov had helped build the barricades outside Parliament. He and his wife Tatiana still remember their elation when the coup failed.
I felt a great hope for a great new Russia, democratic Russia, where human rights are observed, where everyone has the right to influence on the things that are going on. But now I feel that my hope failed. Economy is deteriorating. Human rights deteriorating. If you see from many directions, the Soviet Union is returning.
At the time, the collapse of the coup was hailed as a victory for people power. But in the years that followed, democracy failed to root itself in Russia. Now that's partly because life became so tough here that in the eyes of many Russians, the very concept of democracy became discredited. But it's also because, for those running Russia today, authoritarian rule is back in fashion. This year, the authorities cracked down hard on anti-government protests. And there have been police raids on government critics. So where does that leave democracy? For many here, a distant memory. This monument honours the 3 men killed in the 1991 coup. There are few visitors. There seems to be little interest in this moment in history when Russians embraced freedom. Steve Rosenberg, BBC News, Moscow.
Extraordinary events. Extraordinary events this week. Do stay with us on BBC News. We're going to talk about American foreign policy. Where does this leave the United States after such a seismic week in Afghanistan?
I thought it was a very timely piece, and I know some other people will probably... I mean, Brandon was talking about it the other night, and the fall of the Soviet Union right after that they left Afghanistan. Hello, caller.
Hey, what's happening to you?
I'm doing this thing. I am doing this thing. I am good. What about you?
Pretty good. Calling from Cleveland.
Hey.
Ohio.
What's your name?
My name's Matt.
Hey, Matt. That's my brother's name. Thanks very much
Sweet, brother.
Thanks very much for calling. You got plans for the weekend?
Sure do.
Nice. You want to tell us about them?
I'm going to be working all weekend.
Oh, well.
Unfortunately.
I should have waited to say nice.
Retail.
Should have waited to say nice. Well, I hope you enjoy what you do. Silence.
I'm retired. I'm retired, but it's part-time, so whatever.
Cool. What's on your mind?
Here's the deal.
Yeah.
Well, what's on my mind is this. All right, so you've been on forever, right?
Yeah.
You've had your YouTube page forever.
Yeah.
So I've been watching you. I don't remember how I got hooked up with you. I think it was through Monograph. Do you know who Monty is?
No.
Monograph? No?
Why
don't you check his channel out sometime?
Okay.
But anyway, oh yeah, he's awesome. So anyway, I think they did a room raid on you. That's what it was. Do you know what a room raid is?
Yeah.
So he just decided to, one of his subscribers said, hey, let's go over and let's just like beat up Mike's phone.
Yeah.
So we all came on one night. It was like, I don't know, man. It was like a half a year ago.
I remember.
And
I actually remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So I saw you, and I'm like, this dude's fucking awesome. I mean, he gets it, blah, 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 blah. So I've been watching off and on since then. But I noticed that when I watch, there's only like, I don't know, 50, 60, 70 people on. I don't get it. Like, your subscriber count's big.
Yeah.
Right? Are you, what do you have, 50 to 100,000?
It's like 116,000 right now.
Yeah, but why is it that, is it because you're being shadow banned, or I don't get it?
Yeah, Jackie Cat is the monitor in the chat right now. I don't know if we have another one at the moment or not. But she tells me all the time that she doesn't get notified of the live show coming up.
Jeez, oh man.
Yeah.
All right, so I've always wondered why, when I'm watching you, I'm like, why doesn't this guy have like 1,000 in his room? You know, on the chat. At one time, it just doesn't make sense to me. But whatever.
I'd love to be, this is why I do it, so that we could have a discussion, and the more people we get involved in the discussion, the better the discussion will be, in my opinion. And it's really unfortunate that it seems the powers that be will not allow us to have that discussion.
Yeah, well, it doesn't surprise me one bit, obviously. I mean, we all know that.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to ask you, and I'm glad you answered. I didn't know if I would get a mod to answer the phone or whatever.
Oh, well, I have a screen caller, call screener a lot of the time, but he had to he had to get up really early today, so he's passed out.
So what are you doing? Playing vids now, right, or whatever? Or I'm not on live, am I?
Oh, right now I just have a drone video in the background on the green screen, and I'm talking to you. We're live talking right now.
Oh, that's awesome! Cool, man.
Yeah.
Well, I'm really happy, honored to be on. I mean, I listen to you all the time. I pretty much agree with you with everything.
Right on. Go ahead.
Israel's a scumbag country, fighting a bunch of guys wearing diapers and towels on their heads with, fucking slinging stones at them. It's a joke. The biggest joke in the world. You know what it is? I mean, it's the biggest. It's just a scam. These guys are, they've taken over what, I don't know, what Israel is supposed to be. Well, this goes all the way back to the Balfour Agreement and all those idiots.
Like I said earlier, they seem to be just not a good neighbor. I mean, they keep going, oh, we're the victim. Look at these people are attacking us, but they're bombing their neighbors. They're bombing they're bombing Syria. They're bombing Lebanon. They're bombing Iran. They're bombing Palestine. Gaza.
So that brings up a great question, a great point. So, I mean, seriously, what has Iran ever done other than the hostage situation? Okay, and fighting against Saddam Hussein. Seriously, when have they ever? I mean, really.
And they weren't fighting. They weren't fighting against Saddam Hussein. Saddam Hussein invaded their country, and they stepped up and beat his ass back. Which you have to do. You have to, defend your people.
And that was at the behest of Donald Rumsfeld. Remember?
Yeah.
Back then, he was the Secretary of Defense for Reagan, wasn't he? I think he was in there. I know somehow, some way.
Yeah.
He was part of the cabinet.
Yeah.
And that was when they were fighting against Iran. And Iran suffered both sides, tremendous losses. Million people died.
Yeah.
And this was all with our backing, and you've seen the pictures of Saddam shaking hands with Rumsfeld. Yeah. So I mean, come on. I mean, I'm just this empire has just gotten so out of control. We all know that. I don't know where it's going to end. I don't know if you guys are you having any food shortages up there by you? I mean, I'm way across the country.
I went to go to the grocery store a couple nights ago to get chicken. I eat chicken, it's what I eat, right?
Same here.
And I went there to get chicken, and there's no chicken, no boneless chicken. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and then like around here, pork is going through the roof. Like pork's usually been the cheapest of all staples when it comes to meat. I always thought it was. I don't know. Around here, it always has been. We live in like Amish country areas. Yeah.
I don't enjoy the pork as much as I do the chicken. So.
And I don't either. I've never been into pork myself. But what I'm saying is that all of a sudden pork's going through the roof. We all know beef is. Luckily, southern Cleveland area is on the border of Amish country, so a lot of people don't know that. But it's mostly farm country here in Ohio. But I'm lucky to be on that fringe where I can go get what we need if we need it. But it's starting to get a little weird out there because, I mean, I was up at Costco and...
How long have you lived there?
My whole life.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm from Cleveland, born and raised in Cleveland. I've lived in Michigan, upper Michigan. I've never been up in your neck of the woods yet. I'll get there at some point. But I've been around the United States. But
have you known Amish people?
Oh yeah, I mean I hunt. I mean that's what I do. I'm a hunter here in Ohio, so
yeah.
we're a big deer hunting state. So one of the biggest in the country. Actually, we harvest. I think we're the fourth biggest state in deer hunting in the United States.
And you eat them?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would never harvest a deer and not eat it. No, never would do that.
I had friends that used to make venison jerky, and it was just out of this world.
Isn't it unbelievable? And you know what? It's one of the healthiest meats you can have. We're just overloaded with them. I don't know. I mean, you guys have everything in the world as far as animals there. You have elk and bear and blah, 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 blah.
The elk are very impressive. Have you ever seen an elk?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they're very impressive.
My cousin. Yeah, I have family in Colorado, and just out of it's called Longmont, which is just outside of Denver. But I haven't been hunting there yet. But it's hard to get a tag there. But anyway, going back to what I was trying to say is that everybody's worried about, well, could have coming food shortages on everything. And what I do, I'm in the furniture business, and I have to tell people 10 to 20 weeks.
10 to what now?
To get their furniture. 10 to 20 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're waiting 3, 4 to 6 months to get their furniture, man.
That's a rough sell, dude.
Well, it's a rough sell, but guess what? They're paying it because they can't do anything else about it.
Well, it's good furniture, right? You're selling good furniture?
Well, Ashley, you probably heard of Ashley, right? The Ashley Furniture Company out of Wisconsin.
Yeah.
I mean, they're one of the nation's. They are the world's largest manufacturer of furniture.
Wow.
But we have, we can't just. The supply chains are so destroyed. I mean, it used to be 2 to 3 weeks, dude. Now it's like 10 to 20. 10 to 20 weeks to get your furniture.
That's what I'm saying. Is that's a hard sell, dude. I used to do furniture. Have you ever been to Raleigh?
Where? Oh, what? Raleigh where?
Raleigh.
The city or the furniture company?
North Carolina, Raleigh, North Carolina.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Sure.
There's a big show that goes on there. I've been to the show there a couple times.
Yeah, I mean, that's North Carolina was notoriously back in the day. That was and still is a hub of manufacturing of furniture. But I'm just saying, there's definitely something going on. The supply chains are fucking destroyed. Okay? I mean, and we're seeing it, and I think it's a planned takedown of the country, in my opinion, without a doubt. Because
everything's set up really well. Everything's set up really well for that, and the only problem I have with it, right, is that it all comes back to this thing that I've noticed a lot, which is that ever since 2001, possibly before that, but ever since 2001, one of the things I keep hearing is, we're all gonna die, we're all fucked, and I've watched it happen over and over again for a half a dozen different reasons, and it seems just to be this panic that isn't what really turns out that way. It's like when
the fear and control mechanism, right?
When the plague first started, I kept people would call up and they're just panic, and I was just like, man, just stay cool, don't buy into the hyped up fear, and we'll get through it. Because and I told the same thing, since 2001, over and over again, for years and years, it was, the dollar's going to collapse, we're going to have one terrorist attack. It's just this never-ending stream of, you should be terrified right now. Yeah, and it doesn't happen. So I don't like to try and spread that kind of, because you can get that kind of dopamine rush anywhere you want. You don't need,
Exactly.
I'm trying to do.
And you're right about that. It makes me think about silver, because I invest in commodities, and I'm into silver.
Yeah.
And I've been hearing this shit about silver going through the roof for 20 years.
Yeah. Right.
Here we are today. It's $22 an ounce. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, these guys have controlled stuff at a level that we can't even understand. I mean, really, I'm not kidding you. These guys really do.
Well,
you got to give it to them. The guys on top,
yeah,
they're geniuses. They might be evil, but they are genius at what they do.
The thing is that they have a plan. And it's a really well thought out plan, and we can't even kind of come together to come to common agreement about everything. And they have this fucking sinister plan that every day fulfills its next step, and we're just like, you motherfucker! I am so road raging on you right now. It's just really
exactly. This has all been going on for thousands of years, and. Anyway, I just wanted to say, hey, Mike, I love what you do. I'm glad that you put me on. I'm following you all the time, and you know what? I still don't understand what you do with that pipe and shit. and the dabs and all that. I'm trying to figure it out, man.
Well, you know what?
I don't know, man.
What I need to do is I need to put my my flower press right here on the desk and actually press some flowers right in front of everybody, and then you can see what it is I'm doing, at least understand it a little bit better, because I think it's really the only way to burn. Are you a cannabis lover?
Well, I do enjoy it. I have major nerve damage. Fell out of a deer stand 8 years ago and crushed my pelvis.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, man.
How high up were you?
I don't know. It was probably about approaching 30 feet.
That's pretty fucking high, dude.
I know. And I slid all the way to the base and crushed my pelvis. And I had to go to New Hampshire to get surgery. I had surgery from a guy up in New Hampshire because there's only a few neurosurgeons in North America that do the surgery.
Yeah.
And but you probably heard of a guy named Doug Flutie. He was a quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
Big time, member for Boston College, the Miracle Throw.
No, but I remember the name.
Well, he was his roommate in college at Boston College. He did my surgery.
Wow.
So this guy, Dr. Mark, did my surgery for me, but we have the renowned Cleveland Clinic here. I don't know if you've ever heard of the Cleveland Clinic, but for heart patients, it's like huge. Like we're renowned for our medical attributes at this facility, but they couldn't even do my stuff. They couldn't even handle neurosurgery. They had to send me to, send me off and try to find somebody, and we don't know what to do for you, And I finally found this guy, and he did neurosurgery on me, and I'm retired. I'm 52. I'm retired, and I do, like I told you, I sell some furniture on the side for a guy that I know that owns a company.
Yeah.
But, you know what I mean? But at any rate, man, I just want to, so the weed, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out if it'll help my nerve pain or not.
Oh, you don't know yet? Okay, look, I mean, you've been watching the show. I tell people regularly you're not eating enough cannabis. I'm not playing when I say that, okay? You need, it's the entire body, I tell people the brain is covered with the cannabinoid receptors, but really they're all throughout your body, especially in the joints and areas and stuff like that. So I'm telling you, it's really important to any kind of rejuvenation of nerves, from what I understand. So I would highly recommend you try it at least for like a month or two if you can. And if you try it for 2 months and you're like, yeah, this doesn't work for me, then I would be really, really surprised.
All right, so I want to learn how to do it out of the water bomb like you do it with the dab and the dab pen.
I will. We will have a show dedicated to that. I'll make a video specifically for that. And
all right, brother.
All right, well, it's really good to hear you, and you should call back sometime soon, okay?
Oh, I'm going to call you back. We'll talk more about the weed and the neuro system and stuff, and just appreciate what you do, brother, and just keep it up, all right?
All right, thanks so much for calling. Have a great weekend, even though you got to work.
All right, man.
Okay,
see you, Mike.
See ya.
Later.
And that was really a nice call, huh? I really enjoyed that call. I hope we get more calls like that someday. And that's one of the things, that we can reach out from around the world. And he's right. He doesn't understand why there's not 1,000 people in this room. And could you imagine the kind of conversation we could be having if there was 1,000 people in the room? I mean, Jackie Cat would be really busy then. But imagine the kind of conversation we could have. The chat, not so much the chat, but I would think that more people would be able to call because, there'd be a lot more people. I mean, we get a pretty good amount of calls from time to time, and there's, really never more than 40 people in the room. So, not counting Steve McClanahan, So if we had 1,000 people in the room, like he said, we have 116,000 subscribers. You think we get 1,000 people in the room. According to Jackie Cat, she doesn't get notifications about the live shows. So it is unfortunate because I'd love to be having that conversation. And Craig, has suggested numerous times that we start something new. I still don't see how it works because if we go and we do this and we say, hey, we're over here now, still the people aren't going to get notified from here that we're over there. So we'll figure it out one of these days. YouTube will stop being such a police state and actually give people the freedom to decide if they'd like to hear this person or that person or the other person, instead of saying, no, you can't listen to that. That will make you go crazy. I am an admitted thought criminal. Maybe they hold that against me. But I'm not like the, you know, the propagandist on the mainstream media. We debate what it is that they do all the time. All right, so I have another video I want to play about the plastic barriers, because I went all the work to make sure you can see this video, because I think it's a good video and that you probably want to see it. So I'm going to play it for you now. Make sure I don't know anybody else a dab, and this will be your last chance to call. So, and we'll go start the weekend, okay? Seems like a good idea to me. Here you go. Plastic barriers may not be giving you the protection that people would like you to believe you're getting. I thought you should see this. I'll be back in a minute. Last chance to call.
The estimates of the cost of this war over the last 20 years range from a minimum of $1 trillion to a think tank at one of the universities saying $2 trillion. That's somewhere between $150 million a day and $300 million a day.
That was President Biden today at the White House. War isn't cheap, but paying 20.
Two local girls running a business on the water. They run.
Dang it, dang it, dang it, dang it. Plastic barriers. It's supposed to be clip number 12. Did I just play clip number 12? What's clip number 12? Let's see, clip number 12. Let's try again. Clip number 12.
The estimates of the cost of this war over the last 20 years.
Dang it, dang it, dang it, dang it. Oh, well. Got to see the Banksy one at least. I like the Banksy. And the lemonade stand and some other stuff. So, and I will have that video up for you. Which video is it? It's, the plastic barriers. I will play that one for you on Monday, because we do this every Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific time, which means we'll be back on Monday. Wait a minute. Are you fucking with me right now?
Hi, Michael. This is Jackie Cat.
No.
How are you?
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. This is Jackie Cat.
I know Jackie Cat's voice.
So
I love Jackie Cat's voice. You, sir, are no Jackie Cat.
This is Jackie Cat.
Is that all you got? You're just going to repeat her name again and again? That's supposed to convince...
It's my name, motherfucker. It's my name. I just wanted to do a
Jackie
really
Cat. Jackie Cat would never call me motherfucker. Just so you know right now. You're just way off track on this one.
All right, you listen here, you motherfucker.
What, now you're Pete? Are you Pete now? You sound like Pete now.
This is not Pete. This is Jackie Cat.
No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not.
This is Jackie Cat.
It is not.
This is Jackie Cat. This is Jackie.
All you're doing is repeating her name over and over again. Is this all you got? You're better than this, man. This is not your best work, just so you know.
This is not her name, this is my name. This is my best work. You don't know anything because you are lame. What you gonna say? This is Jackie Cat in the motherfucking house. I gotta go.
Yes, you do.
To the fucking show.
Bye.
Fuck you, I'm gonna do some shrooms.
Bye.
I'm gonna slap the shit out of you with my cat call. Fuck you.
It only took you 4 minutes to get the shrooms? What the fuck, dude? Just think this out a little better next time, okay? And practice the voice, damn it. Get it right or don't do it. Where were we? Floating lemonade stand. I'm going to play that one again. No. We do this every Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific time, which means we'll be back on Monday, same Mox time, same Mox channel. Until then, stay cool, because one of these days, this war is going to end. Stay cool till then.
Sometimes life can be a little overwhelming. Sometimes the weight of the world can be too much to bear. Sometimes you need to stop worrying and take a deep breath. Sometimes you need cannabis. Introducing Brightside, high-quality cannabis delivered right to your door. Brightside offers an extensive menu of strains and products to meet your needs. Choose the experience you want, and we'll send you the dankest herb, the real sticky icky. Some top-shelf marijuana. If you like what we send you, keep the whole jar. We'll even include some nugs for you to blaze. As part of Discovery, you'll get to try new strains and products. Side effects may include euphoria, increased appetite, uncontrollable giggles, elevated sensitivity to musical dopeness, and reduced anxiety. Tetrahydrocannabinol may also induce feelings of existential well-being and relentless optimism. With a Brightside subscription, you can get it once a month, once a week, or whenever you want, all at a price you'll like. And yes, this is a real company.
Do you know who I am? You're the wizard.
Ask your doctor if cannabis is right for you. It probably is. Keep it Brightside.
I mean, this coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united. I wish the coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other.
No matter which mouth you feed on a two-headed snake, it still shits the same turd. But lucky for you, you have Mox News. More than 10 years. More than 60,000 videos. Mox News has been filtering the nonsense and illuminating the bullshit from your mainstream media. Turn off your TV and turn on to Mox News. For over a decade, documenting the socio-political events that have etched and carved the pathways that define today's modern mess, Mox News has been providing clarity while faithfully bringing you today's relevant stories 100% commercial-free and subscription-free. And just like Lady Liberty vows to remain free. But at this time, we're asking you for your help, your patronage, and your support to keep the lights on and the videos rolling. For less than 17 cents per day, you can become a basic subscriber, knowing that your donation is truly making a difference that will help continue bringing the news stories that make a difference in your life. Turn on, tune in, and drop a couple dimes today by clicking the link below or visiting moxnews.com and show your support at any level. From a single one-time donation or dedicated monthly subscriber, do it now in less than 2 minutes. All donations are safe, securely processed, and verified using PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, or Discover Card. As always, we're sure you'll find something of interest each and every day. This holiday season, give the gift of Mox. MoxNews.com.